Welcome, everybody, to the Infernal Brotherhood of the Scruffy Looking Nerf Herders. This is our weekly review of The Mandalorian Season 1, Episode 2, Chapter 2,
Yeah.
subtitle, The Child.
Yeah, the child. So I guess the first episode's title would be Pilot? They didn't even have a title.
Yeah, they didn't have a title for that one, so I just imagine it's just The Mandalorian.
All right. Well,
Yeah.
Before we get into the narrative of this episode, I do want to say I'm kind of bummed by the short duration.
Yeah, it's, I wonder if it's going to be like that all season, where it's sort of whatever fucking time they want.
Right.
Or maybe it was just the first episode was going to be the longer one just because, it's the first episode.
I also wonder if they cut the first episode in half so that they could release it twice on that first week. So really episode 1 and 2 is just one episode, and then the next episode will be the full 45 to 60 minute episode. I don't know. That's my hope. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Well, let's get into this. We're probably going to get blocked by Disney again, but they lifted the... Because these are all just promotional materials that we're watching. And so they flag them, and then we have to tell them that, no, it's not illegal. We can actually show these are promotional. And then they say, oh, okay, go ahead.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I expect that this may cut out for people.
Yeah, you'll see it eventually.
Yeah. That being said, I would like to say this episode carries immediately through, of course it would. Chapter 2 follows immediately where Chapter 1 left off. He is returning with the Yoda baby. What do you call him, the Yoda baby?
Yoda baby.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
why not?
Because we don't have a species name.
Yeah.
We don't have a name. Like, we had 4 digits of a number. So just Yoda baby.
Okay. Well, the Mandalorian's on his way back to his ship with Yoda baby, and he is assaulted by other bounty hunters, actually. And we saw these bounty hunters in the very first episode in the cantina where he got the job, sort of like looking over their shoulder at him suspiciously. The camera held on him for a minute, and so I'm assuming it's the same ones. But either way, he gets assaulted by them, whips some ass, and then takes Yoda baby to his ship, which is currently being scrapped by Jawas of all the...
I think you're forgetting the most important part.
Oh, shit.
We finally see a fucking Mandalorian do a disintegration.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
First of all, when Vader in Empire said, no disintegrations, I was just like, what the fuck is he talking about? Like... We've never in all of Star Wars seen it, so I had no basis of understanding what he meant by that. I assumed something, but when I actually saw it happen, it was not what I expected. Like, it's a literal, like the clothes stay.
Yeah.
But
God, it was so perfect.
The material, like the biomaterial, all just disintegrates into nothingness. It reminded me of War of the Worlds. It was really wild.
Oh yeah.
I'm still not sure how I feel about it, if I'm being honest.
Really?
Yeah.
Dude, I fucking loved it.
It's just, it seems way overpowered. I don't know.
Yeah.
This whole thing feels like a video game, and so I'm putting my head in video game mode while I watch it, and it just seems like way overpowered. But, oh well. He still gets his ass beat by literally everything, and so I can't really complain about it.
Yeah.
He disintegrates. What are those guys called? I can't remember for the life.
The Trandoshans.
Trandoshans, yeah. They look weird in this version versus the movies, to me.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, they look pretty. They look like a darker skinned boss. So.
I think that's the problem, is the color, because it reminds me of like Enemy Mine, the aliens in that. I don't know. It reminds me of other sci-fi properties, and so it takes me out of Star Wars for a minute when I'm used to them being different. Anyway, okay, so he gets to his ship and sees it as being completely tore apart and scrapped by Jawas, and he immediately just starts to disintegrate them from a distance.
Yeah.
Which was so great. And then they're like, oh, Sid, pack up, get in their sandcrawler, which, by the way, just seeing a sandcrawler again just put me in such a good mood. And then they hightail out there on the fucking sandcrawler, and he just starts running after it. Like, he tries to bust one of the engines, it didn't quite work, and so he just like hoofs it like every video game, like Super Star Wars and Indiana Jones combined, where he's climbing the outside of this this fucking sand crawler, and then they're trying to scrape him off, by getting close to cliffs and stuff like that. He climbs up to the very top finally after they're like throwing shit down on him and knocking him down, and he's hanging off by one arm. Gets to the top, met by, which was the greatest scene ever, like 8 Jawas that just stun him.
Yeah, that shit was great.
Slowly falls down. I thought it was going to be more damage to him, but I guess his armor is really, really good. And Yoda Baby just sitting there staring at him like, what's going on with this guy?
Yeah.
Because he was just following by his, I guess, a bracer control that he has. He can control the little Yoda Baby sled thing. Crib, I guess was what it is.
Nah, it's sled stuff.
Okay, we'll say sled. It sounds less dumb. Sled. So Yoda Baby is just staring at him. Mandalorian gets up, and Mandalorian's like, well, shit, I don't know what to do. So he goes back to his wreckage, looks at it for a minute. He's like kicking around, seeing they stole literally everything. And so he goes to the only place that he knows on this planet, and that's to his friend, the Ugnaught. I can't remember his name for some reason.
Kuil.
What is it?
Kuil?
Kuil?
Yeah, I think that's how you pronounce it. I don't know.
Kuiil. Kuil.
Yes.
He goes there, and I have spoken is just the greatest.
It's the best goddamn line ever.
Line in damn Star Wars so far. Okay. So he gets over to him, and he's more than willing to take him to the Jawas and broker his gear back somehow. And I don't want to stop before saying the second greatest scene of this entire episode, in my personal opinion, is watching the Yoda Baby chase after frogs and then eat one.
Yeah, that was pretty goddamn great.
Get that out of your mouth. And he just like opens his throat and swallows the frog. It's the greatest thing ever. This Yoda Baby is adorable.
It is. It's one of those things where it's like every time I see it, I just want to not like it. And then something like that happens. It's like, God damn it, when are they going to start selling these?
It's so amazing. I just love it so much. Yoda Baby's the greatest thing to happen in my life right now. I needed Yoda Baby. Okay, so Kuil or whatever takes him to the Jawa encampment, and Mandalorian's really kind of pissed, and he doesn't, understandably pissed. He doesn't want to barter anything. They try to take the Yoda Baby, and he gets all pissed and like shoots his wrist flamethrower at them. I don't think he intended to burn their faces off, but just kind of scare him.
I mean, they were being dicks, so of course he's going to try.
Jawas. I mean, Jawas were just being Jawas.
It's like, oh, you sound like a fucking Wookiee. Yeah, well, I'm going to burn your face. That's
burn
fair.
Your face off. So he ends up not having anything to trade, of course, because he's not going to sell his Beskar, and he's not going to give them the Yoda Baby. And so they demand that he collects the egg, and they're just chanting. What was the word?
Suga.
Suga, Suga, Suga. And then it cuts to a different scene. Suga, Suga. And then it cuts to a different scene. Suga. It was so great. They were so excited about the egg. And then we got to see inside the Sandcrawler, which I was so thrilled to see.
Awesome.
I never thought I wanted more Sandcrawler from episode 4, but it was so rewarding. I just loved it so much.
Well, it was awesome to see it too, like on a different planet. I mean, that's like you never really saw it open up or anything. Yeah. It kind of was creeping in the background. And with this, it's fucking hauling ass. It's destroying shit. Like,
so cool.
God, it was awesome.
It was great. Anyway, they get to what the egg is supposed to be, and it's this butthole lair in the sand, which really did look like a gaping butthole when you looked at it. It didn't look like a cave at all. Anyway, they get to the gaping butthole cave, and he leaves Yoda Baby out, and Mandalorian slowly goes in, which is really cool. You got to see this really dark, moody environment, bones on the floor, and then it cuts to outside with Yoda Baby, who hears blaster fire and red lights, and then the Mandalorian ejects out of the butthole cave, and he's approached by this monstrous creature. I don't know what the creature's called.
I didn't actually see a name, so I don't know.
I know there's a name for it, but I can't find it right now. Should have done my homework more. Anyway, he gets his ass handed to him by this rhino beast, essentially. And he's doing everything he can to evade it and try to kill it, and nothing is working. Finally, at the very... Oh, the subtitle said it was a mudhorn. Thank you, Josh. So this mudhorn was whipping his ass, and I loved when he's finally completely defeated. He has nothing left in him, but he's still going to fight, and he gets this little dagger. I mean, it wasn't a dagger.
That was fucking beautiful.
Yeah.
Like, that's just...
Puts it out
That's how a Mandalorian should die.
Yeah.
Like, that, and that's exactly what that was he's like, well, I'm fucking dead, but I'm going to stab you on the way out.
I'm fighting to the last. And then it doesn't hit him. And he sees it start floating up off the ground. And he looks over, and Yoda Baby's hand is outstretched. He doesn't know what that means, but we all know what that means. And holy shit, what does that mean?
Yeah, that shit's so crazy.
So he, Yoda Baby extends all of his energy, passes out from the effort. The mudhorn drops back down to the ground. Mandalorian stucks the knife, I guess, into wherever the mudhorn's heart is, and then just like twists it and pushes it in deeper. It dies. He collects this hairy egg thing and then takes it back to the Jawas, who almost left his ass, and ceremonially, with his big old Kukiri-looking knife, cut the top of it and start dipping their hands in the Cadbury.
Yeah.
Just eating it like it's the greatest thing ever. It's crack. It's egg crack.
I mean, it's not surprising. Like, Jawas are crazy about eggs. Like, my wife's the same way.
Okay.
Crazy about eggs. Especially big hairy ones.
Yeah. So he gets all of his stuff back. It's all piled up on the sled. He's taken back, and Kuiil insists on helping him put back together his ship. Kuiil is probably the greatest character of all time. He is selfless. I mean, it's not really selfless. The Mandalorian helped make a peaceful area where he lives, which is all he wanted. The Mandalorian offers him a job, and he says, no, I've worked my entire life to get out of people's debt. I'm going to be free. I'm going to stay free. And so he takes off into space with Yoda Baby behind him, trying to wake him up. He doesn't wake up. He focuses on the stars, and Yoda Baby opens his eyes. So that is the episode. What the hell? Where do you want to start?
Let's see. So my notes, number 1, needs more Wilhelm screams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're going to have people falling off the shit. It's Star Wars. It should be.
Yeah.
But whatever.
This episode didn't really have anything that would fit that, though.
Yeah, bullshit.
What?
He threw Jawas off the sandcrawler.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
I think it would work. Yeah, no, it's just, God, for such a short episode, it had so much content. Like, admittedly, the first chapter, it was a lot of, I don't want to say filler, but there wasn't that much story for the time that we had.
Yeah.
Whereas with this one, it just felt like it was just nonstop the whole time. And then being able to see, Baby Yoda actually use the Force, because of course we assume that he's strong with the Force because he's a Yoda breed.
Right.
And then to see just this essentially baby just pick up this beast like it's nothing. God, that was amazing.
I just don't know what, because people were complaining about Rey having total power early on and being able to do amazing things. This is a baby, ostensibly. Mm-hmm. It's 50 years old, but it's still biologically an infant, a baby. So why can it just inherently use the Force? Because the whole point of the sequel trilogy, it seems to me, was to say that anyone could use the Force. I didn't mention that, Josh, but we're going to get into it in a second. The idea that even a broom boy can have the Force is just how you use it or something, or how you master it. But this species has much more than any other, or is it because of when it was born, the Force itself was trying to create a future balance, perhaps?
I think, honestly, it's just the species. Because there are some species, like even in the canon, that are more Force sensitive or more likely to be able to use it. I mean, look at the Dianogas. Like, they are pure force beings, essentially.
Mm-hmm.
So I bought it immediately that it'd be strong in the force.
Okay. So Yoda baby, we saw him lift the mud horn, but we also saw it attempt multiple times to heal the Mandalorian.
Yeah.
Which was super adorable.
That was too
I was just
goddamn
waiting to hear
much.
like a like a little baby sound or something. I don't know. I just thought it was great, and Mandalorian didn't know what the fuck he was doing. And can we talk about this really quick? Why does no one know about the Force? It's only 60 years after a band of rebels led by Force-wielding Luke Skywalker, who was known all across the galaxy as a Jedi Knight, and no one knows about the Force now? This is 6 years later.
That's not really that hard to believe. I mean, it's on the Outer Rim, for one. He's a Mandalorian. He doesn't give a shit about that kind of stuff. Plus, Palpatine did an excellent job of wiping the slate. Like, really, really good job of just getting rid of all traces of anything when it comes to the Force, the Jedi, all that. So, it doesn't surprise me that he doesn't know what's going on.
I have a hard time with this because the first thing we learn about Star Wars is that the Jedi Knights were guardians of peace in the galaxy for thousands of generations, I think is what they said. Obi-Wan said to Luke. 1,000 generations of knowledge. Okay, if you're in the Inner Rim, the core worlds, and Palpatine has super, knowledge and power, which he does, he can eliminate the knowledge from that, which he controls. But this is the Outer Rim. They would have known about that. There's no way that he would have been able to wipe all knowledge of this stuff. And clearly he didn't, because we have video games and comics and books that say he didn't. But, people leak through, as it were.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know why people who lived in the underworld, Han Solo, why would he not know about the Force? Like, he grew up in a time of the Force. I don't know. It's just, he grew up in that time when there were Jedi Knights, and then there was the Empire. So why would he not know about the Force?
Yeah, but that's assuming that he's ever had any sort of run-in with a Jedi or anything. Like, towards the end, like, there really weren't that many before Order 66. Like, that was one of their biggest problems was, they didn't have as many people as they thought they did, or they once did. So they collected them, like, closer to the core, just because they knew something was coming. So I really don't find it that hard to believe.
Okay. So aside from Mandalorian not knowing what this little baby Yoda is trying to do, I want to talk about the whole act of baby Yoda being held and different people trying to get it really quick. Because from the Mandalorian's perspective, he was given information about this. He went over to collect the asset and the job. There was no fob. There was no official anything. And then he goes to a planet where clearly IG-11 had a fob, and so there was an active bounty out for him. So that tells us that's two different groups. But then look at the people holding him, the baby Yoda. We thought they were bad guy mercenaries. Kuil told us that there were so many, bad guys, coming and going, trying to get whatever it was, that we all assumed that encampment was full of bad guys. But now, was it good guys? Like, did he murder a bunch of good guys who were trying to protect Baby Yoda?
I mean, that's fine, too.
It just leaves it open as of yet. And I find that very, very interesting. And so there's two different groups. One that's official bounty to find the baby. One that was the unofficial, which is the Mandalorian. And the people who had originally absconded it, whether to hold it for ransom or to whatever, protect it, or we just don't know yet.
Yeah.
There were more than one bounty hunter groups that were given fobs, which, of course, is fine up until the point of the asset seizure, and then you have to concede to the bounty guild rules and let whoever has the bounty turn it in. But everyone's breaking that. The Mandalorian, he broke that by taking it from IG-88, by killing IG-88. The Trandoshans broke that.
It's IG-11.
Oh,
Just,
I'm sorry.
throwing that
Yeah,
out there.
you're right. The Trandoshans tried to steal it from the bounty hunter, but from Mandalorian. But then you can argue that they had guild rights and he
Mhm.
didn't, so maybe that was okay. But I don't know. What do you think? Are there different factions of the Empire that are trying to get control of this creature, or
Yeah, it
is it
wouldn't surprise me. I mean, it could be a part of the contingency.
right? And we know
Like,
that during the Imperial rule, they were trying to find all Force sensitives and destroy them essentially.
hmm
So maybe this is just carrying on from that. I don't know.
yeah, that
Because
would
it's
be
so
my
far
guess.
after, and the Emperor
Or
doesn't.
trying to figure out a way to, like, I mean, there could be a contingency where they're trying to figure out how to clone the Emperor.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Okay, so then let's talk about the Camino.
Oh my God! So this I completely missed, and thank you, Josh, for letting me know. Yeah, so apparently in the first chapter, the scientist that comes in, I mean, you really have to look for it, but the sigil on his shoulder is that of the Camino planet, which, I mean, as we all know from the prequel trilogy, that's where they did all the cloning.
Yeah.
So that like adds to the fact that I think they're trying to replicate the Emperor, but like, and I don't know if this is still canon or not, but it was said that you couldn't actually clone a Force user. I mean, you could clone them, but they wouldn't come like the clone wouldn't necessarily have Force abilities. So
Huh.
that would be my kind of guess. Yeah, because I know it's in the books, I know it's in a couple of the games, but I don't know if it's considered canon anymore.
Yeah. It'd be interesting. I honestly think there's two contingents of the Empire that are, the remnants that are
Mhm.
trying to get access to this Yoda baby. So the group that we know of with Dr. Pershing and Zikliant,
Mhm.
they're trying to get. I suspect they heard that the Yoda baby was discovered, and they're trying to go a even secreter way of getting access to it because I think that it was stolen from them originally.
Hmm.
So I honestly think that they're doing their own, whether it's cloning program or with Dr. Pershing, or whether he was in control of the cloning process which generated this Yoda baby. Whatever the case, they're trying to re-seize it and keep it out of the other Imperials' hands. And I think we're going to see this really wonderful Imperial remnant sort of face-off with the
Oh man,
Mandalorian
that'd be so
stuck in the
good.
middle.
Yeah,
I mean,
that'd be
that would
so
be the
damn.
best way so that the Empire's scattered. They have different Moffs trying to take control in different parts of the galaxy. Some are,
Mhm.
galvanizing different factions and stuff. It would make sense that there would be disparate groups that had different understandings of what the Empire was doing and decide to take it in different ways.
Yeah.
Would that be too complex, you think?
No, no, because we already know that this is not just a one shot season.
Yeah.
Like it's going to be an ongoing narrative. So I could definitely see it being something like that. I actually hope it would be something like that
Would you
because
prefer Zikliant and Dr. Pershing to be working with some, like the New Republic or something?
no,
Or do
that'd
you
be
want
fucking
no New
lame.
Republic mentioned in this?
Yeah, no New Republic. I want to see how the the remnant deals with other factions
Yeah.
because yeah, like you said, and we know this from the books too, like the Moffs essentially were like, oh fuck, well, Papa Palpatine's dead. Okay, I guess we're in charge now.
Mm-hmm.
And they start controlling their own systems and shit and essentially become crime lords. So
Yeah.
that's what I want to see. I want to see them going head to head, like as sort of like the B storyline.
I'd like that too. I don't know. The thing is like because they are gamifying the Mandalorian's armor. Like we've seen shots where he has his full Beskar outfit, so we know that's where he's going at least towards the end of the season.
Mm-hmm.
And each job, what do you think he's going to do? Is he going to return Yoda baby at this point to Zikliant and Dr. Pershing, or is he going to try to keep it and protect it?
I mean, if he's got full Beskar at the end of the season, I would imagine that's the case, that he gives it back so he can get the Beskar.
Would that? I don't know. Like we've always been introduced to scoundrels who, when back against the wall, do the right thing. Han Solo. This is different. I don't know that. I kind of want him to protect the Baby Yoda.
Oh, well, of course you want him to, but
everything he does, all of his motivations, even when he mentions weapons or Mandalorian religion, he's obsessed with the idea of Mandalore. And I think, just due to the nature of the series, I think he's going to give the baby up.
Oh, yeah. I think so, too.
So he can get that Beskar back in the hands of Mandalorians, as the client had mentioned originally. Oh, man. It's kind of exciting. What other force powers do you think we're going to see Baby Yoda exhibit?
Shit, I don't know. I honestly am kind of surprised, especially with the beginning of the episode, where he's trying to heal him.
Yeah.
Like, I'm surprised we didn't see that when he was knocked the fuck out, like after he fell off the sandcrawler.
I was getting the feeling that Baby Yoda was trying to judge the character of the Mandalorian. Like when he saw that he defended him and he saw that he got the short end of the stick with those Jawas. I don't know. For some reason, I thought that it was like, I'm gonna wait. No, he tried to heal him after the Trandoshan attack, right? Before the Jawas.
Yes. Yeah, it was after.
Yeah. So yeah, why didn't he try it after that?
Yeah. So
maybe he was thinking about it and Mandalorian just woke up in time. But yeah, like this shot right here, he's in full Beskar. And so we know it's coming. I don't know. Do you think the mention of that the Mandalorian, I can't remember how they called it, but he was basically an orphan, a foundling.
A foundling.
Do you think because the Mandalorian's a foundling and he's connecting with this Yoda baby because clearly it's a foundling?
Oh shit! That if we get a fucking Yoda Mando, oh my god. I will never watch another fucking movie ever again. And honestly, it's kind of to that point. Like, I know that probably a good part of the reason why we love this show so much, I mean, other than the fact that it is, of course, good, is that we've just gotten nothing but diarrhea soup for the past few years.
Yeah.
And, so I'm already, like, more on board with television than the movies. But
for sure.
Yeah, if he becomes Mandalorian and you get this little fucking Yoda and Beskar and shit, yeah, God, they should just give up at that point. It can't get any better.
That would be the funniest thing if he brought it to the Mandalorians instead and said, hey, look, I need all of your guys' help. We got to get our Beskar back.
You know, he was getting paid either way, even if he killed him.
Right.
And he
just
only
needed proof.
Yeah, so fuck, maybe he just pretends to kill him and then adopts him.
Dude, I want Baby Yoda to climb on his back.
That's so awesome.
All right. What do you want out of episode 3? Where do you think we're going to go? I did not see us going where we went with episode 2. So what do you think about 3?
I think 3 is going to be when he makes his decision whether he's going to be turning in Yoda Baby or if he's going to be keeping him and trying to figure out how to get the rest of that payment.
Do you think they're going to show that on screen of him sort of like debating, or do you think it's just going to be a decision that he's fully realized and we're not going to see the challenge?
I don't know, to be honest. He doesn't speak much. So, which, I mean, you kind of want anyways from a proper gunslinger.
We got to mention that too, because this episode had no talking for like 10 minutes, and then it was very little talking.
Oh, yeah.
We've never seen that in anything before. Like, no film, no movie, no series has done that.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, this is a straight-up Western. And, I mean, you got the strong, silent gunslinger. Like, all of his dialogue is internal, and it's not for us to know. You just get what he thinks, feels, all that shit through his actions.
Oh, it is so good.
That's so fucking good.
Oh, God damn, it's so good. All right. Well, episode 3, I definitely want to... I want him to turn it in and get his Beskar armor. Like, I want that to happen. But then I want him to rally other Mandalorians to... and that's maybe where he finds Gina Carano's character in order to get Yoda Baby back or something. Or he turns it in and he's getting his armor and then he sees that someone stole it and the client is like, go get him, Mandalorian, bring it back, I'll give you more. Or something like that. I don't know. I don't know. The possibilities are endless. I didn't think we were gonna get a fucking sandcrawler, so it could be anything.
Yeah.
Ugh, I love that I don't know. Like it's such a we don't know anything, and it's the most wonderful experience of just openly going into these episodes and being amazed at the music, at the visuals, at the story. It's so wonderful.
It is.
I feel like we're just sucking off Mandalorian.
I don't give a shit. I'll fucking swallow that load.
All right. Well, on that note, anything else you wanted to cover?
Nope. I think we about got it. Just fuck, this is amazing.
Good.
And they're assholes. They're fucking teasers because they give us 2 episodes in 1 week, and now we have to wait a full week to get another episode. It's bullshit.
Yep.
And it's only 8 episodes long. Like that's the thing that keeps killing me.
We're gonna have to wait till next year probably to see season 2.
Yep.
Oy vey. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this episode review, everyone. Let us know what you think about Baby Yoda, about the implications of the different bounty hunter commissioners, about the people who put the bounties out trying to get this Yoda baby. What does it mean for the greater Star Wars? We know this Yoda baby had to have been born during the prequel around Anakin Skywalker's birth time. Is this a larger Force narrative that's going to be told throughout the Mandalorian itself? Are we going to see the Darksaber? Put it in the chat comments below.
Oh, Jesus. I don't know if I can handle that.
I know.
I'd just fucking die.
And then what's your favorite quote so far, everyone? Let us know in the comments below. Like and share and subscribe to the channel for more Mandalorian love and content. And until next time, may the Force be with you.
Suga, Suga, Suga.
What's up, Princess Moon? Princess Moon.